Hello, PRC clients, friends, and colleagues. I'm Tara Powers, CEO of Powers Resource Center. And this week's connection video is all about a growth mindset. And how do we actually get out of a fixed mindset, which we may find ourselves in, especially if we're under a lot of stress, which most people are, and move into that growth mindset, because it's the growth mindset where all the possibilities come flooding in, right? Where we start to feel a little more in control of our decisions and our life, and we can really come from a place of creating possibility rather than staying in a place of fear. So we're going to talk a little bit about growth mindset, and I want to introduce you to the whole concept if you've never heard about it before, but it definitely has an impact on how we perform. And growth mindset really comes from a Stanford psychologist. Her name is Carol Dweck. You can actually find her book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, very popular. She actually did a lot of research on this, and she actually did it with children. And she found that children who worked from a growth mindset, meaning they might not be good at something yet, but they can learn and grow from what they may not be able to do today. She found that when we focused on that type of a mindset, is that we can get better in the future. It had a profound impact on their ability to take chances, to take risks, to come up with better solutions, to make decisions, and to feel more confident about themselves. And this is no different in our teams, and certainly as leaders. Mindset has a profound impact on nearly every aspect of our lives. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about the two mindsets, fixed and growth. And there's really 5 ingredients that Carol Dweck talks about when she talks about growth mindset: how we handle challenges, how we handle obstacles, effort, criticism, and the success of others. And so one of the things that is really important for you to recognize is how you show up when you're faced with those 5 different things, those 5 different situations. So let's start with challenges. One way for you to think about, am I approaching this from a fixed or a growth mindset, is to consider if you avoid a challenge because you're afraid you won't look good, right? That you're not going to be good at it. So you would rather not do it at all. A growth mindset would actually look at a challenge and say, boy, I'm gonna embrace this. This is gonna be really hard for me. I'm not gonna do great the first time, but I know I'm gonna learn, and so I'm gonna do it. That's a growth mindset. Let's move on to obstacles. So when you are faced with obstacles, if you're coming from a fixed mindset, as soon as something gets hard or something's thrown in your way, you quit, right? You give up. That could be with exercise. That could be on a project on your team. Someone with a growth mindset, when they are faced with obstacles, they figure out, how do I get around this obstacle? How can I go over this obstacle? How can I persist and get through this obstacle? Who can help me get over this obstacle, right? So they're figuring out all the ways that they might be able to get rid of this obstacle, eliminate it, or reduce it. That's a growth mindset. Third thing to think about, effort. Someone that has a fixed mindset actually sees effort as not really important or necessary. If it's something that requires effort, then I must not be good at it, so I'm just not going to do it, right? This comes up a lot with my own kids, right? When they are trying a new sport for the first time and they can't do it, they go, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not good at it. And I say, you're not good at it yet. Right? You're not good at it yet. Keep trying. That is the only way that we can get to mastery. And so that is where the growth mindset comes in. If there's any dream that you've ever had, if there's anything that you thought you could do on your team or in your business, and you've dreamt about it, that means you probably can do it, but it's going to take a lot of effort. A growth mindset sees that as the path to mastery. It's the path to becoming excellent and expert at what you do. The next section, next area or ingredient is around criticism. So how do we handle feedback? Do we actually ignore feedback? Do we get defensive when we get feedback because we believe that we can't change it anyway, or we don't want to? Someone with a growth mindset actually seeks out feedback, asks for feedback consistently so that they can learn and grow and be the best leader, team member, remote worker that they can be. And then the final key ingredient is how we handle the success of others. So if we're coming from a fixed mindset, we might look around at the success of other teams, other companies, other people, and we get threatened and very envious of their success. A growth mindset is like, I need to take them to lunch, or we need to find out what they're doing, or what are they doing that we can get inspired by and maybe emulate and even do better. That's a growth mindset, right? When you think about it that way. So those are the 5 key ingredients, and it's something that you should think about as an individual, and it's certainly something you should talk about as a team anytime you're faced with a challenge and things aren't going well. Are we approaching this from a growth mindset, or are we stuck in a fixed mindset? Think about all the things that your team's working on right now. Where might you be in that fixed mindset? And maybe need to ask these questions to move forward. Just remember that mindset is situational and it is dynamic, and we can shift it at any moment. We just need to support each other. Stay connected and have a great week. Bye-bye.